said you don't really know what you were doing, but you learned it from muscle memory. But you're building a team and building a culture. So how do you motivate your team? Is it because you're going? I think what I've learned is that the team needs to lean into your vision and understand that you are changing the world by the software you're using for this problem you're solving.
Mhm.
So how do you get the team to buy in?
That's a good one. I don't think I have a silver bullet answer to it. I think the important thing to that I learned over there is to put it simply is to over communicate. You know what tends to
Communicate.
happen?
Yep.
Yeah, communicate more than you would normally would, because what tends to happen is you sort of it's easy to fall into the trap that, hey, this is obvious, right? Yeah, that everybody's going to understand why we are doing this, and
They
I
don't.
mentioned
They
this
don't.
one time 3 months ago, and it ought to stick, and that the world doesn't work that way. So I think the thing that if I have to put it a little simply, is to keep them motivated is to keep repeating yourself,
Yep.
and to just sort of communicate more than you would naturally would. So I'm an introvert. I tend to talk less as much as possible, and I do a lot better in one-on-one conversations than I do in like one to many kind of conversations. But I had to train myself to do that, and sort of keep talking again and again about what exactly the vision is. Every time we could be solving like a small minute problem, to still tie it back to why we are doing this, and sort of
Yep.
somehow tie it back to the larger picture that we are going to go after, and just training myself to do this again and again, even if I'm boring myself to death, but to realize that it's important for the team, that you can actually do this again and again. So I think that was one of the things that we had to do, and all three of us sort of co-founders had to learn to do that. By the end of which whole thing, which I was very glad, is that we actually had a company that was like, when I said it was running very well, I'm actually proud of the fact that we more than building a successful business, we actually ran a well running company, because when we actually sold the company and the founders moved out, the company continued to run smoothly. So I think in some way we made ourselves redundant in the company, which is like while it makes you feel useless, it's one of the great outcomes to have. Like, the company is not overly dependent on you at some point of time, and it runs on autopilot.